Welcome, dear listener. Tonight, we journey quietly into the secret night life of medieval villages, where strange customs, silent rituals, and forgotten traditions shaped the lives of peasants. As you settle in and breathe slowly, let the gentle sounds of history carry you through shadowed streets, glowing hearths, and quiet fields. Close your eyes if you wish, and drift softly into the calm and mystery of a medieval night. Night falls gently over the medieval village, soft and still. Smoke curls from chimneys, mingling with the cool evening air. Peasants finish their final chores, carrying water, feeding chickens, or tending fires. Wooden cottages line narrow paths, their windows glowing faintly. Families gather inside, the warmth of hearths mixing with the fading daylight. Children murmur softly in their sleep, tucked under straw mattresses. Parents move quietly, checking locks, hanging herbs for protection, whispering small prayers. The village seems paused, yet alive. Every animal breathing, every tree swaying gently. Moonlight drifts across cobblestones and fences, highlighting the textures of thatched roofs and wooden beams. Outside, night watchers prepare for their rounds, ensuring livestock is safe, doors secure, and no wandering intruders disturb the peace. First sleep approaches, a brief period of rest before the long night rituals begin. In every household, subtle customs come alive. Stones placed in doorways to ward off spirits, charms hung from beams, and whispered incantations to keep danger at bay. The village holds a fragile calm, a mixture of routine, superstition, and care. The air is thick with the scent of wood smoke, damp earth, and the quiet magic of centuries-old traditions. Shadows stretch across fields and lanes, moving gently with the glow of the moon, forming patterns known only to those who live by the rhythm of night. Here, life is simple yet profound, guided by rituals unseen by day. As darkness deepens, villagers begin preparing for the first sleep. Hearth fires are banked low, leaving faint embers glowing. Families gather quietly, exchanging whispers of guidance, reminders of protective rituals, or blessings for children. Doors are checked, locks tightened, and charms moved into place. Herbs hang in every doorway, their scents mingling with the cool night air, a subtle shield against malevolent spirits. The quiet movements of adults are deliberate, careful, as if any sudden sound might disturb the delicate balance of safety. Children's breathing slows, and they drift lightly into slumber, murmuring in dreams. Outside, the village is hushed, broken only by distant hoots of owls or the rustle of leaves in the breeze. Cats curl in corners, livestock settle into stalls, and the first layer of night settles across fields and cottages. The rhythm of the village is a dance of preparation and expectation, a silent orchestration of safety and tradition. Even minor actions, such as stacking firewood or covering a grain sack, carry significance, preserving well-being through night's long hours. In each cottage, the combination of superstition, care, and daily practice forms a protective network, a quiet magic woven into the ordinary. Outside, the night watchers begin their quiet rounds. Clad in simple garments, carrying lanterns or staffs, they walk slowly along village paths, observing livestock, checking gates, and ensuring all is in order. Their movements are deliberate, almost meditative, blending with the soft, nocturnal sounds. The gentle wind, the occasional barking dog, the rustle of small animals in the underbrush. Moonlight illuminates the path, highlighting textures of cobblestones, wooden fences, and thatched roofs. every gesture matters. Even the slightest misstep could leave a gap in the village's defenses. Watchers pause at cottages, ensuring doors are secure, children safely tucked in, charms in place. Occasionally, they whisper soft prayers or chants, echoing the rhythm of the village's nocturnal magic. The air is filled with the scent of damp earth, hay, and wood smoke, mingling with the subtle tension of vigilance. The night is a living entity, quiet yet alert, encompassing all who dwell in the village. Ritual and routine intertwine seamlessly with the silent mystery of the medieval night. Life continues, hidden yet vibrant, under the veil of darkness. Inside each cottage, quiet rituals unfold. Mothers move softly between sleeping children, adjusting blankets or whispering charms to ward off unseen spirits. Fathers check simple protective symbols: a stone by the door, a circle of salt on the floor, or herbs hung across beams. The fire casts gentle flickering light, illuminating worn wooden furniture and clay pots. Shadows stretch across walls, soft and calming, forming shapes that seem to move with the rhythm of the house. Even small tasks carry ritualistic meaning. Stacking wood carefully, placing a broom in a specific corner, or leaving food out for animals as an offering. The air is filled with the mingling scents of herbs, smoke, and earth, subtle reminders of the village's intimate connection to both life and superstition. Each act is slow, deliberate, and filled with significance, preserving the safety and harmony of the household. Every family member, even the youngest, participates in these quiet traditions, learning the delicate balance between caution, respect, and the ordinary flow of life. Outside, the village remains hushed, yet the subtle glow of lanterns or the shimmer of moonlight over windows reminds all that life continues, quietly but purposefully, through the long night hours. The combination of superstition, daily habit, and care creates a serene, protected world where even the smallest gesture carries meaning, blending practicality with gentle magic that sustains the village through darkness. Beyond the cottages, the fields lie bathed in soft silver light, stretching into the distance. Livestock settle quietly in wooden enclosures, their breaths rising in faint clouds under the cool night sky. Watchers move slowly among them, ensuring safety and checking for signs of illness or predators. The faint rustle of wind through trees and the distant lowing of cattle punctuate the night's stillness. Paths between fields are ghostly under moonlight, revealing textures of soft grass, cobblestones, and wooden fences. Shadows shift gently, forming a quiet rhythm, almost like a dance in the muted landscape. Herbs planted around cottages emit faint fragrances that mingle with the earthy aroma of the soil, contributing to a sense of calm and protection. Occasionally, a cat slips silently through the grass, or a dog pads along a fence, joining in the soft nocturnal symphony. This world is alive in ways invisible during the day, a living web of observation, ritual, and quiet movement. The villagers' awareness of every detail, from a fence post, tilting to the faintest rustle of leaves, reflects centuries of learned survival and tradition. The night is long, yet peaceful, filled with the rhythms of life that persist beyond sunlight, carrying a sense of comfort in its gentle constancy. After several hours, first sleep comes to a gentle end. Some villagers stir quietly, checking animals or moving softly around their cottages. Children may wake, blink sleepily at the firelight, and hear whispers or gentle guidance from parents. The period of wakefulness, between first and second sleep, is a time for subtle activity, Some tend small fires, rearrange tools, or whisper prayers to ensure ongoing protection. Even the smallest gesture, a blanket straightened, a lantern moved, a piece of bread offered to animals, holds significance. Outside, the moon drifts higher, casting light on empty lanes and silent cottages. Shadows stretch long and soft, forming a landscape of quiet magic. This time is calm yet purposeful, a delicate balance between rest and vigilance. Rituals continue in hushed tones, preserving safety, continuity, and comfort. The villagers' lives are deeply entwined with these nocturnal rhythms, where superstition and care blend seamlessly with daily necessity. The night, in all its muted glory, is a living presence, guiding those who respect its patterns and allowing peace to reign through the long hours of darkness. Midnight falls over the village, soft and silvered, stretching across cottages, fields, and narrow lanes. The moon casts gentle light over rooftops and thatched cottages, revealing textures softened by shadows. Smoke rises lazily from chimneys, carrying the faint scent of wood smoke into the cool night air. Inside, families sleep or move quietly, performing small protective rituals. Mothers adjust blankets over children, whispering charms against spirits, while fathers check doors, windows, and simple symbols like stones in doorways, circles of salt, and herbs hung strategically across beams. Each household moves with careful rhythm, balancing vigilance and comfort in the dark hours. Outside, the fields are still yet alive with subtle nocturnal sounds, rustling small animals, distant owls observing silently, livestock shifting in their enclosures. Cats glide through the alleys, dogs curl near the hearths, alert but resting. Night watchers, lanterns in hand, move deliberately along village paths, checking livestock and cottages. Every step, every pause carries weight, for a minor misstep could disturb the delicate harmony of the village. Lantern light pools gently on cobblestones and wooden fences, contrasting with the silvery glow of the moon, revealing textures softened by decades of use and weather. Rituals at this hour take on particular importance. Some villagers rise from straw beds, performing silent prayers, tending embers, or checking animals. The interplay of firelight and moonlight creates shifting shadows across interior walls, giving ordinary objects, wooden beams, clay pots, hanging herbs, an animated, almost magical presence. Even the simplest gestures, adjusting blankets, placing a bowl of water for animals, or moving a lantern, carry significance beyond the mundane. The village's nocturnal life is a living organism, defined by both practicality and superstition. Every sound, movement, and gesture contributes to a protective web that sustains safety, comfort, and harmony. The night is long, yet calm, filled with invisible energy that blends routine, superstition, and care. Each cottage, lane, and field participates in a rhythm of life that is at once ordinary and mystical. The medieval village, asleep yet alive, breathes quietly under the silver light, its people moving with purpose and reverence, sustaining traditions that have endured for generations. In this delicate balance of vigilance, ritual, and peaceful darkness, the village exists in harmony, a serene and mysterious world that flourishes only when observed slowly and attentively. As midnight deepens, the village grows quieter, yet rituals continue with deliberate care. Families that slept lightly during first sleep move softly, tending hearths, adjusting bedding, or performing protective gestures passed down for generations. Stones placed in doorways, salt circles on floors, and herbs hung from beams reflect centuries of belief, connecting villagers to the unseen world and the rhythms of night. Every gesture, no matter how small, preserves safety, well-being, and harmony within each household. Even the simple act of straightening a broom or stacking firewood carries ritual significance. Outside, the moon casts long silvered shadows across fields, gardens, and narrow lanes. Livestock breathe softly in their enclosures, their movement punctuating the quiet. Occasionally, the rustle of nocturnal creatures breaks the stillness, blending seamlessly with the gentle sigh of wind through trees. Night watchers move methodically among cottages, checking doors, gates, and animals. Lantern light scatters softly, illuminating cobblestones, fences, and paths, producing a dreamy, protective atmosphere. Every detail is observed. The faint creak of a floorboard, the flutter of curtains, or the distant lowing of cattle, forming a rhythm that structures the village's nocturnal life. Inside cottages, embers glow faintly on walls adorned with hanging herbs, tools, and charms. Parents move with practiced care, performing motions learned through generations. Children, awake or asleep, absorb the lessons of vigilance and tradition. Firelight mingles with moonlight, casting soft shadows that dance across walls and floors. The combination of light, shadow, and motion creates a tranquil yet mysterious atmosphere, calming yet filled with quiet energy. Every gesture contributes to a protective, invisible web that extends across the village. Through these long hours, the medieval village remains alive, attentive, and purposeful. The silent hours are not empty, but full of meaning. Routine, ritual, and subtle magic intertwine seamlessly. Darkness is respected, navigated, and embraced. Every sound, every whisper, every careful motion matters, shaping a world where life persists quietly but with intention. In this harmony of shadow, light, and tradition, the village breathes steadily, a calm and mysterious realm that exists only in the careful hours of night, sustained by generations of learned practice and gentle observation. As midnight deepens, the village grows quieter, yet rituals continue with deliberate care. Families that slept lightly during first sleep move softly, tending hearths, adjusting bedding, or performing protective gestures passed down for generations. Stones placed in doorways, salt circles on floors, and herbs hung from beams reflect centuries of belief, connecting villagers to the unseen world and the rhythms of night. Every gesture, no matter how small, preserves safety, well-being, and harmony within each household. Even the simple act of straightening a broom or stacking firewood carries ritual significance. Outside, the moon casts long silvered shadows across fields, gardens, and narrow lanes. Livestock breathe softly in their enclosures, their movement punctuating the quiet. Occasionally, the rustle of nocturnal creatures breaks the stillness, blending seamlessly with the gentle sigh of wind through trees. Night watchers move methodically among cottages, checking doors, gates, and animals. Lantern light scatters softly, illuminating cobblestones, fences, and paths, producing a dreamy, protective atmosphere. Every detail is observed. The faint creak of a floorboard, the flutter of curtains, or the distant lowing of cattle, forming a rhythm that structures the village's nocturnal life. Inside cottages, Embers glow faintly on walls adorned with hanging herbs, tools, and charms. Parents move with practiced care, performing motions learned through generations. Children, awake or asleep, absorb the lessons of vigilance and tradition. Firelight mingles with moonlight, casting soft shadows that dance across walls and floors. The combination of light, shadow, and motion creates a tranquil yet mysterious atmosphere, calming yet filled with quiet energy. Every gesture contributes to a protective, invisible web that extends across the village. Through these long hours, the medieval village remains alive, attentive and purposeful. The silent hours are not empty, but full of meaning. Routine, ritual, and subtle magic intertwine seamlessly. Darkness is respected, navigated, and embraced. Every sound, every whisper, every careful motion matters, shaping a world where life persists quietly but with intention. In this harmony of shadow, light, and tradition, the village breathes steadily, a calm and mysterious realm that exists only in the careful hours of night, sustained by generations of learned practice and gentle observation. As the night deepens further, quiet labors continue within cottages and across the village. Even in darkness, life does not cease. Parents tend hearths, stir embers, or bring in water from the well, performing these small tasks with care and ritual. Children, if awake, watch in fascination or participate gently, learning the traditions that shape their world. Every movement is deliberate. A broom straightened in the corner, a pot adjusted on the fire, a bowl set for animals. These simple actions, though seemingly mundane, hold significance, maintaining harmony and safety in the household. Outside, the moon illuminates fields and lanes in muted silvers and blues. Livestock breathe softly in pens, shifting occasionally, and the quiet rustle of small animals punctuates the stillness. Cats roam silently, while dogs rest near the warmth of cottages. Night watchers patrol the village paths, lanterns casting gentle light across cobblestones, wooden fences, and thatched roofs. Every step, every pause is intentional, ensuring that livestock are safe, doors are secure, and the village's nocturnal rhythm continues uninterrupted. In each home, rituals intertwine with practical work. Stones at doorways, salt circles, hanging herbs, and whispered prayers form a protective network, connecting villagers to generations of knowledge and superstition. The interplay of firelight and moonlight creates soft, shifting shadows that animate interiors, revealing textures of wood, stone, and clay in a dreamlike glow. The night, though silent, feels alive, brimming with unseen energy that guides each action and movement. Across the village, these quiet labors build a network of care and vigilance. Every gesture contributes to a sense of safety and comfort, blending practical necessity with the mystical rhythms of tradition. The long hours of night pass with subtle motion and attentive awareness, as the medieval village breathes gently under moonlight, maintaining a harmony that has persisted through generations. In this world, darkness is not a void, but a space filled with life, care, and the steady pulse of human attention. The village night continues with the subtle music of sound and motion, a rhythm unnoticed by the casual observer, but central to life here. Livestock shift softly, creating a low, steady undertone. The wind sighs through trees, rustling leaves, while distant animals respond with muted calls. Cats move with deliberate grace through yards and alleys, and dogs sleep lightly, alert to every sound. Night watchers, carrying lanterns, pace familiar paths, their presence almost ceremonial as they ensure doors, gates, and livestock remain safe. The combination of natural and human activity produces a quiet symphony, blending the ordinary with the unseen energy of tradition and superstition. Inside cottages, families move in slow, intentional patterns. Parents check children, adjust bedding, and monitor the fire, their gestures guided by learned rituals. Stones, salt, and herbs occupy strategic positions, serving as both protection and connection to the ancestral knowledge that underpins the village's nightly rhythm. Firelight flickers across walls, mixing with the silver glow of moonlight, casting shapes that seem alive, softening the edges of furniture, walls, and objects into an impressionistic dance of shadow and light. Even minor actions, like repositioning a lantern, straightening a broom, or adding water to a bowl, are performed with care and meaning. Children, observing or participating quietly, learn the importance of these gestures, absorbing the knowledge of protection, vigilance, and the delicate balance between superstition and practicality. The night is alive yet serene, each sound, each movement, and each shadow contributing to a cohesive pattern that sustains the village's safety and harmony. Through the silent hours, the village breathes in rhythm with both human and natural life. Every action, sound, and ritual is a note in a gentle symphony, creating an atmosphere that is both protective and calming. Darkness is respected and navigated with care, providing a backdrop for centuries of tradition, vigilance, and subtle magic. In this nocturnal world, the medieval village exists in perfect harmony, a space where life, shadow, and ritual intertwine quietly, yet profoundly, under the gaze of the moon. As the village night stretches onward, shadows take on a quiet life of their own. Firelight dances across cottage walls, mixing with the pale glow of moonlight to create shapes that seem to move with purpose. Families navigate these shadows with practiced care. Mothers adjust blankets, whisper charms, or place small protective tokens near children. Fathers inspect doors, windows, and symbolic markers like stones or circles of salt. Each gesture reinforces the delicate safety net that preserves the household through the long night. Beyond cottages, the village appears suspended in time. Fields and lanes are softened by moonlight, where livestock rest quietly and nocturnal creatures rustle in the underbrush. Cats slip silently between shadows. Dogs curl near hearths, and the occasional hoot of an owl punctuates the calm. Night watchers follow familiar paths, lanterns in hand, their movements slow and deliberate. Each action contributes to the invisible rhythm of the village, ensuring animals are safe, gates are secure, and human dwellings remain protected. Stories of past generations linger in these silent hours, carried by whispered prayers and repeated gestures. Every ritual, a stone in a doorway, a sprig of herb hung from a beam, a bowl of water left for animals, connects the present moment to centuries of tradition. The villager's attentiveness transforms ordinary activities into protective acts filled with purpose and subtle magic. The interplay of light and shadow, human movement, and natural sound creates a symphony of calm, a nocturnal tapestry woven from vigilance, care, and inherited knowledge. Within each cottage, life continues in quiet motion. Children absorb lessons of safety, respect, and tradition, observing rituals that teach the delicate balance between superstition and practicality. The night, though dark, is alive with intention. Every sound, movement, and gesture reinforces harmony and security, creating a sense of serenity that pervades both the interiors of homes and the open spaces of the village. In these long hours, the medieval village breathes as a single organism, where shadows carry history, ritual, and gentle care, sustaining life until the first light of dawn begins to emerge. While families move quietly inside cottages, the night watchers patrol the village, guardians of rhythm, safety, and tradition. Clad in simple garments, carrying lanterns and staffs, they walk familiar paths, checking doors, gates, and livestock. Each step is measured, deliberate, part of an inherited pattern that has persisted through generations. Lantern light scatters softly across cobblestones, fences, and thatched roofs, blending with moonlight to produce a landscape both protective and dreamlike. Every sound, a distant animal, a creaking beam, the rustle of leaves, is noted and interpreted as part of the night's rhythm. Inside cottages, subtle rituals continue alongside the patrols. Parents whisper prayers, adjust bedding, and tend fire embers. Their actions guided by inherited knowledge. Stones, salt, and herbs serve as quiet guardians, their placement significant and purposeful. Children, awake or asleep, learn these rituals, absorbing lessons in vigilance, care, and respect for the unseen. Firelight flickers against walls, mingling with moonlight, creating shifting shadows that animate objects and spaces, producing a gentle, meditative atmosphere. The night watchers. Movements through lanes and fields mirror the household rituals. Their vigilance reinforces the village's security, their presence a living thread connecting each home to the larger community. Even the most minor observation, a gate latch checked, livestock counted, a lantern repositioned, contributes to the web of protection enveloping the village. Outside, cats move silently, dogs respond to faint sounds, and nocturnal creatures add soft notes to the symphony of sound that defines the medieval night. In these hours, the village exists in a delicate balance of light, shadow, and ritual. The quiet labor of households and the steady vigilance of watchers combine to create a world that is alive, yet calm, mysterious, yet safe. Each gesture, movement, and sound is part of a greater rhythm, ensuring that the medieval village not only survives the night but thrives within it. Darkness is not feared here. It is respected, embraced, and carefully navigated, sustaining centuries of tradition, knowledge, and quiet magic that will carry the village through until the dawn. The moon continues its silent journey across the night sky, casting pale silver light over the village and surrounding fields. Every path, lane, and field is softened under its glow, textures muted, and shadows stretching in quiet patterns. Livestock rest peacefully, their occasional movements blending into the soft rhythm of the night. Cats and small nocturnal animals slip through shadows, their presence barely audible but contributing to the gentle symphony of nocturnal life. The village itself feels suspended in a dreamlike stillness, a world held together by subtle motion, careful observation, and centuries-old rituals. Night watchers move along familiar routes, lanterns illuminating small pools of golden light on cobblestones and wooden fences. Their steps are deliberate, measured, each pause thoughtful, ensuring that cottages remain secure and livestock protected. Every action, no matter how small, reinforces the network of care that defines the village. These rounds are not hurried. They are performed with a rhythm and patience that allows watchers to notice even minor details. A gate slightly ajar, a fence post tilting, or a shadow moving unexpectedly. Inside cottages, families continue their quiet tasks. Parents adjust blankets, check embers in the hearth, or arrange protective charms with careful precision. Stones, salt circles, and herbs hung from beams maintain their quiet vigilance, safeguarding inhabitants through the long hours. Children, awake or observing from sleep, Absorb these patterns, learning the balance between practical care and superstition. Even the simplest gestures, placing a bowl of water for animals, moving a lantern to illuminate a doorway, carry layered significance. The night deepens, yet life persists in measured, deliberate motion. Firelight flickers, blending with moonlight to create a shifting, almost magical interplay of shadow and light. The village breathes as a single organism. Every movement, sound, and gesture forming part of an invisible rhythm. Darkness is neither feared nor empty. It is alive with purpose and subtle magic. Every path walked, every fence checked, and every ritual performed maintains harmony, safety, and continuity in this medieval world, ensuring the village endures until the first hints of dawn touch the horizon. As the night stretches onward, the village is kept in gentle balance by its silent guardians. Night watchers patrol every lane, path, and field, moving with measured steps, lanterns casting warm light against cobblestones, wooden fences, and thatched roofs. Each motion is deliberate, each pause intentional, allowing the watchers to observe all that might require attention. Their vigilance ensures that livestock are safe, cottages secure, and that every ritual performed within homes remains undisturbed. Every subtle sound, a branch rustling, an animal shifting, or a distant owl calling, is noticed, becoming part of the nightly rhythm that sustains the village. Inside cottages, families continue their nocturnal routines with quiet precision. Parents whisper soft prayers, adjust bedding, and tend to the hearth, while children, still half asleep, learn the traditions of protection and care through observation. Stones in doorways, salt circles traced along floors, and herbs hung from beams are not merely symbols. They form a living network of subtle guardianship, connecting homes, families, and the entire village. Firelight and moonlight mingle, casting soft, flickering shadows that bring walls, objects, and corners to life, creating an atmosphere that is at once calming and mystical. Even the smallest gestures hold significance. A bowl of water placed for livestock, a lantern shifted to illuminate a doorway, or a broom straightened in a corner are all acts that sustain safety and continuity. The night watcher's presence complements these household rituals, forming a network of guardianship that stretches across the village. Outside, cats move silently, dogs respond to faint sounds, and nocturnal creatures add to the symphony of the night. Through these hours, the medieval village exists in a delicate balance of light, shadow, motion, and ritual. Darkness is respected, observed, and navigated with care. The interplay of vigilance, superstition, and human attention creates a world alive yet serene, protective yet mysterious. Every sound, movement, and ritual contributes to a pattern that sustains life through the long night. Preserving tradition and ensuring that when dawn eventually breaks, the village has endured with harmony and quiet strength. The night in the village unfolds with a gentle, deliberate rhythm, a pattern that has persisted for generations. Inside cottages, families move softly, performing familiar tasks that combine necessity with tradition. Mothers adjust blankets over children, whispering quiet prayers and charms to ensure safety and comfort. Fathers check doors, windows, and symbolic markers like stones and salt circles, moving deliberately to maintain the invisible network of protection. Even the smallest gesture, placing a bowl of water for animals, straightening a broom, or adjusting a lantern, carries meaning, connecting the household to centuries of learned practices. Outside, fields and lanes lie bathed in moonlight, silvering the textures of cobblestones, wooden fences, and thatched roofs. Livestock breathe quietly in their pens, shifting occasionally, while nocturnal creatures rustle softly in the underbrush. Cats glide through shadows, and dogs rest near hearths, alert but calm. Night watchers patrol familiar paths with lanterns in hand, their measured steps ensuring that cottages remain secure. Gates are fastened, and livestock are unharmed. Every sound, every movement, every rustle contributes to the subtle symphony of the medieval night. The interplay between interior rituals and exterior vigilance creates a cohesive rhythm that sustains the village. Firelight flickers and mingles with moonlight, casting shadows that animate walls, furniture, and objects. Herbs hanging from beams, tools resting on shelves, and charms positioned carefully seem to pulse with life under this soft illumination. Children absorb these lessons quietly, observing and participating in the practices that teach attentiveness, respect, and the delicate balance between superstition and practicality. Through these long hours, the village breathes as a single organism. Each cottage, lane, and field contributing to the rhythm of night. Darkness is neither empty nor frightening. It is alive with purpose, care, and subtle magic. The medieval village moves with intention. Every gesture, sound, and shadow part of a network that preserves harmony, safety, and tradition until the first light of dawn begins to touch the horizon. Deep into the night, the village exists within an invisible web of care, vigilance, and ritual. Each household contributes to this network. Mothers whispering charms, fathers checking doors, and children absorbing lessons of attentiveness. Stones placed in doorways, circles of salt along floors, and herbs suspended from beams form protective layers that connect each cottage to the larger rhythm of the village. Every action, no matter how small, reinforces safety, security, and continuity, linking the mundane to centuries of tradition. Outside, the moon casts silvered light across fields, lanes, and cottages. Livestock rest quietly, and nocturnal creatures stir in soft, measured movements. Cats slip through shadows, dogs respond to faint noises, and owls watch silently from distant trees. Night watchers move deliberately among cottages and paths, lanterns scattering pools of gentle light over cobblestones and fences. Each step is mindful, each pause attentive, as they ensure that the village remains safe, secure, and in harmony. The combination of human vigilance, natural observation, and inherited practice forms a delicate, invisible web connecting every element of the village. Within cottages, firelight mingles with moonlight, casting soft, shifting shadows that animate objects and walls, turning ordinary spaces into a realm of calm and subtle magic. Every gesture, a blanket straightened, a bowl filled, a lantern repositioned, reinforces the protective fabric of the village. Children watch, learn, and occasionally participate, internalizing traditions that balance superstition with practical care. The medieval night is alive, yet serene. The invisible web of rituals, vigilance, and gentle movement sustains life, blending light, shadow, and motion into a cohesive, protective harmony. Darkness is not feared, but navigated with intention, transforming long hours into a space where the village thrives quietly, guided by centuries of knowledge, practice, and quiet devotion. The night, in all its subtlety, is both guardian and teacher, shaping the lives of all who dwell within this calm, resilient, and mysterious medieval world. As the night nears its final hours, the village moves through a rhythm refined over generations. Each household participates in quiet lessons of vigilance, care, and tradition. Mothers glide silently between sleeping children, adjusting blankets, whispering soft prayers, and repositioning charms for protection. Fathers inspect doors, windows, and symbolic markers, making small corrections where necessary. Every gesture, however minor, carries significance, reinforcing the village's invisible network of security and harmony. Even the simplest tasks, a lantern shifted, a broom straightened, a bowl of water set for animals, are infused with purpose, a reflection of centuries of knowledge and experience. Outside, the moon continues its slow journey across the sky, casting silver light over cottages, fields, and lanes. Livestock rest in pens, occasionally shifting, while the quiet rustle of nocturnal creatures forms a subtle backdrop to the village's activity. Cats slip through shadows with deliberate grace, and dogs respond lightly to the sounds of the night. Night watchers walk familiar routes with careful steps, ensuring gates are fastened, fences secure, and animals safe. Lanterns illuminate portions of the village, creating a contrast between soft, golden pools of light and the silvery glow of the moon, revealing textures of cobblestone, wood, and thatch softened by shadow. Within cottages, the interplay of firelight and moonlight casts dancing shadows across walls and floors, animating objects and spaces in a dreamlike rhythm. Children, observing or quietly participating, internalize lessons of attentiveness, respect, and the delicate balance between superstition and practicality. Rituals connect households to one another, creating a shared sense of responsibility and harmony. Each whispered prayer, adjusted blanket, or placed token reinforces the protective fabric that surrounds the village, maintaining continuity and calm through the night. Through these long hours, the village breathes as a single living organism. Darkness is not empty or threatening. It is alive with purpose, subtle energy, and gentle magic. Every motion, sound, and ritual contributes to a tapestry of care and vigilance that sustains life, ensuring the medieval village emerges intact, safe, and serene as the first hints of dawn approach. As the first light of dawn stretches across the horizon, the village begins to awaken from its long night. Silvered shadows gradually fade, replaced by the soft golden glow of early sunlight. Families stir from sleep, stretching and preparing for the day ahead, carrying with them the rhythms, rituals, and quiet lessons of the night. Mothers attend to children, fathers check livestock and tools, and households begin their daily routines, each action echoing the careful attention and protective measures maintained throughout the darkness. Fields and lanes glimmer under the morning light. Livestock rise and begin their slow movements, while cats and small animals venture from hiding places. Birds call from trees, their songs weaving into the gentle hum of the village as day replaces night. The village breathes in new energy, yet carries the memory of the night's invisible web of care, vigilance, and subtle magic. Every object, every corner of a home, every path and fence retains traces of the rituals performed during darkness, a quiet testament to the skill and attentiveness of generations. Inside cottages, fire embers are tended. Herbs and charms remain in their carefully chosen positions, and children, now fully awake, begin to absorb the lessons of responsibility, observation, and respect for both the practical and mystical. Lanterns are extinguished, doors are opened, and the village comes alive with soft conversation, gentle movements, and the simple hum of life continuing. The balance maintained through the night now passes seamlessly into daylight, guiding daily routines and sustaining harmony throughout the village. The medieval village, having moved through darkness with care and precision, emerges into morning calm. Shadows, light, ritual, and motion have woven together a fabric of safety, tradition, and quiet magic. The inhabitants, connected to both the unseen rhythms of the night and the practical demands of day, continue life with continuity, vigilance, and harmony. In this seamless transition, the village remains alive, resilient, and serene, ready to embrace another cycle of work, rest, an enduring tradition under the sun.